Thank you, Mr. Edward Kukkan, for accepting our invitation for the Macedonian Nova TV. My first question concerns the new European Commission. You know that Mr. Juncker said, presenting his program, he said that in his 5-year term, he is not going, there will be no Balkan enlargement at all. So that there will be some technical negotiations on that. So could we say that the prospect of the enlargement has diminished?
No, definitely no. I know very well that this statement caused a lot of concerns in the Balkan countries. And I was there when he made that statement, and I am explaining to everybody how they should understand it, because only this part of his statement is usually quoted, but he continued, and that was the most important part of that message. So I can also agree that in the next 5 years, in the term of this parliament, in the term of this commission, none of the aspiring countries will be ready for the accession objectively. But it does not mean, and he said, Jean-Claude Juncker said, he continued, that but the accession negotiations should go on with the fastest speed. We should go ahead with discussing the chapters or whatever without any breaks, without any barriers. It would be very bad if we send bad signals to our partners. So it means that no country will be ready objectively for the accession. If some country thinks that they will be ready, it's unrealistic. I can say it with all the responsibility. It took 8 years for Croatia. It took 6 years, and we were in much better position. So it is true that there will be no enlargement in the sense that there will be no new members. Now that Scottish referendum ended like that, so Scotland will not be new member state of the Union. And so it means for Serbia, for Montenegro, that the talks are going on without any problems and with all speed. The new commissioner, Mr. Hahn, by the way, I think that it was a very good decision of the chairman of the commission that enlargement went to Austrian. Austria, I think, is very well established in the region, and they have a lot of expertise on in that region. You didn't ask, but I will also tell you that I know that our friends in the Balkan countries are not satisfied with the fact that there is not a singled out commissioner for enlargement like it was in the previous commission. But again, I would say that Mr. Hahn is a commissioner for enlargement. So enlargement is on the high place in the agenda of the new commission. So having said that, I'm thinking about more arguments, because I'm very much sure that the prospects for the enlargement were not diminished. The negotiation will go on, and everything in the Commission is being prepared in such a way that the negotiations will go on as planned, without any problems.
So you don't think that the Berlin conference that took place in August, that this conference is not a kind of consolation for the Balkan states?
No. On the contrary, I would say, because I understand it was mentioned during the Berlin conference by many speakers, starting by Angela Merkel. In 2003, at the informal summit of the European Council in Thessaloniki, in Greece, I was there as a Minister of Foreign Affairs of my country. All the countries from the region were invited, yes, and they were told that we are all expecting them in the European Union one day. That's when the European perspective terminology started. And since then, some of the member states tried to forget about that. It was a political pledge, it was a political something more than a promise. And I understood the organization of the Berlin Conference that it should send a very strong signal that we are not going down from that promise or that obligation, that it is still valid, that EU wants all the countries of the Balkan to accept as the members of the European family. For me, it was the most important message from the Berlin Conference, and it is good that not you, not your countries, but us, we needed to remember what we said before, and we should behave responsibly concerning that. I know that next conference will be held in Austria next year. It's very good. We have the commissioner from Austria, and I think that these are the best reassurances that enlargement is very much on the top of the agenda, and EU is not backing down from the promises which were done before.
Now in the Balkans, Balkan states are satisfied with this Berlin conference, but how these Berlin messages were understood in the European capitals?
I think that in the European capital they came and they were perceived as the reminder to all member states to contribute to the process of enlargement, that it is necessary to go ahead with it, that there are no reasons to prolong it in a bureaucratic or any other way. So I think that the messages from Berlin were well accepted in the European capitals of the other member states. And the fact that it was in Berlin, that it was when Angela Merkel took part herself, and I think that concerning the future of the enlargement agenda, she was very, very clear.
Yeah, let's go back to the new Commission and the enlargement. After a lot of hesitation, as we know, Mr. Juncker decided to appoint Mr. Hahn for enlargement and enlargement negotiations commissioner. But I have to ask you, how in this geopolitical situation, when the accent is put on Ukraine, etc., how the enlargement remains important? Does it remain important?
No, you are right. You are right. Ukraine is very much on the agenda. I think that developments in the last couple of days are promising that maybe some solution which would be acceptable for all sides is coming. It would be very good because Ukraine is absolutely close to the European Union. For us, Slovakia, it's, we are neighbors with them. And of course, it causes very big concern for the European Union because it's really next door, I would say. So it's natural that we have to pay a lot of attention. But as I said, these are important things. But enlargement agenda, I don't know how to assure you more that all works of the functionaries in the Commission is going on. The preparation for opening the chapters are going on. The screening process for Serbia is going on. So these works are different from the main concern for us, which is no question Ukraine and of course Syria, Iraq, Middle East, Islamic State. It's really a great threat to the international security. But I don't fear, because I'm very much living in this space, I don't feel that that would cause any breaks in the work of the people who are charged with preparing enlargement agenda and enlargement negotiation in the future. So you will see it. When the Commission is in place, I'm sure that the negotiations will go on, and it will be most convincing argument for our partners.
Now you have in the new parliament, there are a lot of Eurosceptics. Is this complicating the enlargement?
You are right.
Talks?
In the composition of the new parliament, there are many more Eurosceptics or anti-Europeans, I would say, even some of them. But we expected that. Very frankly, myself, I expected that it would be more. It would be more of them. So we shouldn't be surprised that we shall hear some more statements of which will be anti-European or very skeptical than it was before. But effectively, they are not so well organized. They couldn't form the political group which would give them much stronger leverage. They would, if they would form, I mean, Madame Le Pen and Nigel Farage, that would give them the certain number of chairs of the committees, delegations, and so on. As it is now, you know, they are non-attached. They can only take floor at the plenaries, but that's it. So maybe they will be vocal, and sorry to say, media like to publish things which are dramatic and interesting, exciting for the people. But their real political strength here in the parliament is not so big. So, under this situation, the traditional political groups know that it is too important to cooperate among them, not to allow these newcomers to take, you know, the advantage of that. So even if you look at the numbers, still the main core of the European Parliament are the forces who are pro-European and pro-enlargement. Let's be realistic. Even some politicians, some MEPs in those groups are also not so enthusiastic about the future enlargement. But they are only voices here and there.
Just one more question on the new commissioner for enlargement. The deputies prepare their auditions, hearings for it starts next week. What are the questions? I mean, what is the main question your political group or you are going to ask Mr. Hahn?
Hearings are big things in European Parliament. You know, it's like when Real Madrid plays Barcelona. We are all looking forward to it. No, but we had a meeting with Mr. Hahn twice. He is member of our political family, and we would be positive towards him. And we indicated the questions which we are going to ask. But those are the basic questions which we are discussing now. We are going to ask him what will be his approach to the enlargement, future enlargement, what will be his approach to the issues which are very much important, Macedonia, name issue, Kosovo, Belgrade negotiations, and the neighborhood policy. So normal issues which are really most important for the next period. My personal impression from knowing him or having listened to him were positive. He will be a little bit different from Commissioner Füle. He will be not so visible, not so energetic and dynamic. He has a low-key profile, but he is very pragmatic, he is very realistic, and I think that he will bring some new ideas. He wants to achieve something, I don't to build the bridge or to build the highway. There's a philosophy that something should be done so that people see and feel tangibly that something good is happening for them. And he was the Commissioner for Regional Cooperation, so that's why I said that I'm glad that he got this job. And I think that all those traditional parties which I mentioned, they are for the enlargement, and they would be asking him in such a way that we are interested in keeping the promises of the European Union towards our partners, because many of us understand that it's frustrating for the people of Macedonia to be told every year that you are doing well, but we shall see what we will do with you next time. And it's going on in the last 6 or 7 years. So even in this issue, we are going to ask Mr. Hahn. I know that he is thinking about some new steps, but I don't know what kind of new steps could be used, because so many attempts were done and no solution so far. But it's still, it means that the situation is worse and worse.
Now, let's hope that Mr. Hahn will have some ideas on the name issue. We didn't hear anything for the moment.
He's thinking about that, yes, he's thinking about that. And as I said, that he's not very visible, but he is a doer. He does things. Okay. That's good, that's important. He acts, yes.
I go to the annual reports of the Commission. They are coming in a few days. I know that concerning Macedonia, the Commission has considered the idea of not repeating the recommendation because of the democratic values in Macedonia. What is your opinion on that? What do you think? Do you think that the Commission will repeat its recommendation? And what is also the position of your political group on Macedonia, its recommendation, and accession talks, having in mind that the Macedonian governing party is a member of your political group?
Yes. Well, as you said, the progress reports are going to be published on the 8th of October. They will be presented by Commissioner Füle, by outgoing commissioner. That will be one of his big last performances and activities, because it's planned that the new commission should be in place on the 1st of November. And as you know very well, progress report is a very elaborated document which is dealing in details with all fields, economy, and all these things. But I think that most important thing is the political message which this progress report will send out. And I believe, I would say, I know that the political message will be the one which will motivate Macedonia to go on with the preparation for the European Union, for the formal accession negotiation, and so on and so forth. I think it will be clearly said in that report. Concerning the paragraph about recommendations or non-recommendations, I understand that it's difficult to find some different wording every year because the substance is the same. And I think that still the recommendations will be there. It is very important for us parliamentarians because we are going to support it. It's the answer to your second question. In EPP, we are always supporting the suggestion or recommendations which Commission sent to the Council to give the date for starting the accession negotiations. That position is not homogenized. We have Greek MEPs, we have Bulgarian MEPs in our group, so I should be open that they have different opinion about that. But great majority of the EPP is for the giving Macedonia a chance to start the accession negotiations. And it is a real big majority. And I'm always telling my Macedonian friends, you have many friends here in the European Parliament. So this is the position of EPP, and I'm sure that in next report or in next resolution which will be adopted by the European Parliament, again it will be very clear that the European Parliament is very much on the side of Macedonia. Now we shall have different organization of cooperation between Parliament and our colleagues in the Balkan countries. We shall have new rapporteur on Macedonia. By the way, it will be from our group. I will not tell you the name because it's not yet official. Before it was Socialist group, Mr. Howitt. But I think that he was also trying to be helpful.
That was my next question. So.
We already decided, because in distribution of these posts and in the negotiation among the political groups, it was decided which reports will go to which group. So it's known, and we have the internal decision who will be the rapporteur. And we shall see. I'm sorry now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the new head of delegation
is from your group.
From our group, yes. So let's wait until it is official, because maybe there will be some more dealings about political rapporteurship and the chairs of the delegation. So let's wait for that. But my point is that whoever it is going to be, I am perfectly sure that he will be helpful for Macedonia, and he will express the clearly positive attitude of the parliamentarians to your country.
But as friends of Macedonia, as the European, your political group, EPP, does it have some criticism of the way Mr. Gruevski and his party manage Macedonia?
Well, we should say that friends of Macedonia, friends should speak very openly.
Yes.
Between themselves. And I think that when members of our group or leadership of our group meet with our Macedonian friends, they express where we would like to see some more active approach or some better approach. But you know, these family things are resolved in the family, not in the public.
I have just one question, briefly, on Hungary, because Mr. Orban is also a member of your political group, and we know that in Hungary there are a lot of attacks from the government on the free press, on the civil society, and we don't hear the voice of EPP or of the European Union.
Well, you can hear the voice from the European Parliament, from ALDE group, from the Liberals, from the Greens, from the Socialists. You don't hear the answer or statements from our political group, because Mr. Orban is member of our political group. Whenever he comes and comes to our political group, that is, I can tell you, very exciting discussion. And I don't want to be very diplomatic, but I come from Slovakia, and some of those statements by Mr. Orban and some of those measures taken by the Hungarian government in the field of media, constitution, I don't like them. That much I can say, and I think that Mr. Orban should behave much more responsibly as a European politician, because Hungary is like one of the member countries, is like any other member country. They are no Superman, and they are not exclusion, and they don't have any exclusivity, which I got the impression Mr. Orban tries to push through.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kukán.
Thank you for inviting me for this interview.